Good day, sweet world, and welcome to a very special episode of Gamesoverplastic, another DLC, and I'm joined for the third time by my favorite Nintendo buddy, James Solar. James, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Sean, thank you so much for having me back. After last time I said that I'd never played Super Mario World. I thought that you were going to kick me off the show and never have me back.
Well, you wrote that wrong and you played it.
I did. I actually have played it since the last time we were together. And I decided that we put it in the exact right spot on the tier list, right in the S tier. So
Yeah, because
right where it should be.
it's an immaculate game, one of the best games. But we already talked about the greatness that is Super Mario World, and now you know what it is. Today, we're going to be talking about a very special, brand new game that came out almost about a month ago now, just about a
Yeah,
month ago.
it's been a little while.
Yeah, and that is Donkey Kong Bonanza. I would say the tentpole title of the Switch 2 so far. I think it's over Mario Kart.
Yeah. Oh, I've liked
Um,
it a lot more than Mario Kart.
yeah, me too, definitely.
Yeah. But I'm not.
But yeah,
I'm not a huge Mario Kart guy. But
no,
I
neither am
still. I had fun with Mario Kart, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, we're not.
that's
No
not what we're here.
slander,
That's not what we're here.
no slander towards Mario Kart. But we're here. We're gonna go in a full deep dive spoiler discussion on Donkey Kong Bonanza. So if you have not played the game, or if you're not completed it, or you really don't care, yeah, you can listen because we are gonna spoil some stuff. Because
Yeah.
for a Nintendo platformer, I was shocked at how deep this story actually was. I'm not saying it's like we're not playing Red Dead Redemption here, but
Right. Yeah. I do think though that even if somebody did listen to this beforehand, they could still probably play the game and have a really great time with it. Just because, like so many Nintendo games, so much of the game is more of like experience and like gameplay focused as opposed to being like story beats.
yeah,
That you can't really spoil gameplay the same way that you would spoil a story.
yeah, I know. It's like spoiler alert. Vader's Luke's father. Uh oh. All right. So before we get into the actual Donkey Kong Bonanza, though, I wanna know our little. We're gonna go over a little history with the Kong Man himself, Donkey Kong. So James, I'm gonna let you take over. What is your history with Donkey Kong?
Well, um I haven't played a lot of Donkey Kong. I did not own um DK64 as a kid.
Hmm.
I know that I played it at some point. I think I might have like rented it from like a Blockbuster or something at one point. Um but I never owned it. I never had a Super Nintendo. I guess I should have started there. I never owned a Super Nintendo.
Oh, we know that.
So
I
I
think some of
never
us know
yeah.
that.
Uh so I had never played any of the Donkey Kong Country games until actually probably like maybe like last year. I played the first Donkey Kong Country on Nintendo Switch Online. Um and then I never played Tropical Freeze or or Donkey Kong Country Returns. But the reason that I never played those was because I felt like I should play the classic SNES games first. And so I wanted to like play those and then play the other ones so that I could like kind of like work my way up to it. Um those are still kind of on my radar, but my most of my experience with Donkey Kong before Donkey Kong Bonanza would have been from Super Smash Bros.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're missing out with Tropical Freeze because that's like one of the
Yeah.
best 2D platformers of all time. Tropical Freeze
That's
is
what they
freaking
say.
amazing. Okay, so similar to you, I was pretty late to the Donkey Kong game.
Okay.
My first Donkey Kong game was actually Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the GBA.
Oh,
Um,
I
yeah,
forgot about that one. I didn't
which
play
is
it on
kind of
Game
more
Boy
of a
Advance.
Mario game. It's kind of more
It
of a
is.
Mario game, but yeah.
But I played that one on Switch and I had fun with it.
Yeah, I had fun with it too. I've played every Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, including like they released like DSi only games where I was really into Mario vs. Donkey Kong. It was
Okay.
weird, but that was my only history of Donkey Kong until Tropical Freeze came out on Wii U. Bought Tropical,
Okay.
freaking loved it, and I'm like, you know what? I got to go back and play the old Donkey Kong Country games, which was I don't know why I didn't play them because as my dad had the Super Nintendo. We owned all three Donkey Kong Country games. I just never played them.
I think they're hard. They,
They are. I mean, well,
they,
with Tropical Freeze, buddy. Woof. Not really forgiving. Really fun game though.
yeah,
So I went back and played the original Donkey Kong Country games. And then I went and played like the original Donkey Kong, which I'm not really a fan of.
like
Like,
the arcade game.
yeah, Jumpman. I do not like.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been told to go play Donkey Kong 94 because that's kind of like a credit. That's like the precursor to Mario vs Donkey Kong, supposedly, like the G
Okay.
Boy game. That's what I've heard. So I don't know. I'm gonna maybe try that out because it is on NSO. But yeah, so then I replay. I ended up playing the three country games. This is back in 2014 after I played Tropical Freeze,
Okay.
and I really did like them. But yeah, before that, my only exposure was really Smash Bros, Mario Party, Mario Kart. Um,
Is Donkey Kong in
and
Mario Party?
yeah, you didn't know that?
Hold on. I can't. I love. I'm not a huge Mario Party fan. I played a ton of Mario Party 4 and 5 on GameCube.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
a
remember
character.
him being in
He's
there
a
at all. I
he's a
remember.
he's a playable character in 4. He has his own space in 5. Come on, dude.
I don't remember him being in there.
Come on.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not one of my go-to characters.
Yeah, no,
I'm a
he's not my,
purist, and I only play as Mario.
Oh my god. I've been playing a lot of Mario Party Jamboree. Oh, so much
Yeah.
fun. It's
Nice.
super fun. But again,
Because
we're not here to
the
talk about that.
Switch version just came out, right?
Yeah, Switch 2 version came out, yeah. The
Okay,
base game's
yeah,
still
that's what I-
better,
that's what I
but
meant.
like yeah. Yeah. What I remember Donkey Kong is in Mario Party 1, like they have like this, you know how like in each corner they have like the player and like they're like their face is like their icon.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong
Mhm.
had a really mean looking face. I remember that from Mario Party 1.
Okay.
They changed it for the future games. But yeah, that was like my only exposure to it. And I remember like going over a friend's house, well, like a family friend's house. They were playing Donkey Kong 64. And they're like, "Oh, you guys want to borrow it?" I'm like, "Sure." And I didn't have an expansion pack for we didn't have an expansion pack for N64, so we went home and put it in the 64 and it didn't work. And we're like, "What the heck? Why doesn't it work?" We didn't get the expansion
That's
pack
so
till we got
funny.
Majora's Mask. Yeah, which was funny. So yeah, that was kind of like my only exposure to Donkey Kong. But then they announced I did eventually play DK64 a couple years ago. Some of my
Okay.
friends were doing like a platformer a month, like a 3D platformer a month
Yeah.
book club kind of, and like they did Donkey Kong 64, and I went in expecting to hate it, and I actually really liked it.
Okay. It seems like
Um,
people are kind of torn on Donkey Kong 64. That some people say that it's everybody seems to either like really like it or say that it's terrible.
so I'm gonna say, yeah, I was going into that mindset. I think it's better than Banjo.
Okay.
And it's the
I've
same
never played
developer.
Banjo.
I played Banjo for the first time in that.
Oh, it would have was that rare?
Yeah, it's rare. It was rare. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I liked it, but it's very different than this game. Very, very different.
You'll
So
yeah.
now that we kind of know our little history with Donkey Kong, why don't we actually get into Bonanza here? Um, I don't know about you, but I avoided basically all the pre-trailers for Bonanza, so I went in like knowing absolutely nothing. Like I didn't even know about like the Kong transformations. I didn't know. I didn't even know you could
Yes.
do any of that stuff. I
I
had no
only
idea.
knew I only knew about them because I on one of the podcasts I had heard somebody say that you could like you like go Super Saiyan or you have like different Super Saiyan modes, and I was like, all right, okay. And so that was all that I knew. I didn't know like what the animals were or what the abilities were. Um, I knew that Pauline was in the game and that she was a child because I saw people melting down over that online for some reason.
That I did know that too. Yeah.
But I didn't watch the that event that they had where they did like that Donkey Kong Direct. I think that what it was.
Yeah.
I had intended on watching it, and then I ended up having to work. And I ended up just never going back and watching it. But it's like I didn't really need to watch it because I was gonna buy it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy first party Nintendo games either way.
That's what I
So
mean. Same here. So yeah, like I didn't know about so like when I got to like the transformation, the Bonanza transformations, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I was like honestly surprised at each one. It is pretty cool how like each animal you transform into is kind of like a throwback to the Donkey Kong Country animals.
mhm.
Other than the zebra kind of came out. The zebra kind of replaced the rhino, kind of.
Okay.
Which
Yes.
would have been cooler. I do have to ask you, which of the Bonanza transformations, which one was your favorite?
Probably the elephant.
Yes, same here. And
Yeah.
you know what's funny about the elephant? When I
Hmm.
first got it, I'm like, this is gonna be awful. I don't want to run around as an elephant. And then I started using it and realizing I can just suck everything up, suck up all the
Realizing
gold.
right.
Yeah,
Realizing that you could use it in like boss battles and combat to quickly like suck up stuff and then quickly just be able to throw stuff one after another,
yeah,
ended up being super beneficial. And then at the kind of in the end game when I was trying to clear a lot of terrain at one time to
yep.
be able to find I bought piece of clothing that was the tie that would make
Oh,
chests appear more
I wore
often.
that. Okay, yep,
Yeah, I bought it like at the very beginning of the game and I kept it on the entire time, and it really helped when I was trying to clean up some of the the fossils and the bananas and stuff, because you would find the maps in there. And so
yeah.
having the elephant was super helpful for that because you could just kind of just go suck up
Clear
as
out a
much stuff
whole
as you
area.
can. Yeah,
Yeah,
get the chests and then get those maps.
yeah. So yeah, I like the. I actually, you know what? I liked all of them. I pretty much used all of them equally, except
The
no.
snake.
I've heard that. Yes, the snake. Thank you,
The
thank
snake
you.
sucks.
The snake was not my favorite. The only time I did utilize the snake, a couple times. So you know, in the at the end game when you have to pay all the money to like open like in the forbidden layer, it's like oh 999. It's like 9,999 gold.
Yep.
I
Did you have all the gold that you needed when you
At
got
the
there?
time, no, no. So what I ended up doing was I used the snake. I did the jump thing, and then I switched into the ostrich and flew across, and I made it,
Oh,
and it worked.
interesting.
And then I'm like, you know what? I don't have to pay for it, and I got every single banana and fossil in that area without paying, except for the Cranky Kong one in that area because he's so high up. And
Okay.
I tried for about a good 30 minutes trying to figure out how I can get this working. And then I had to go, you know what, I gotta actually pay the gold. And then I found out the farming method where you just go to the racing zone and just suck up like
Oh,
all
I didn't know
the
that.
gold. Yeah, it's
Well,
like really easy.
so I had enough when I got there. I had enough gold to pay for all of them except for the very last one, and I
Hmm.
was probably like 4 or 5 thousand gold short. And I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't get all of the bananas in world like 4 or 5 or whatever. And so I went back to that world and kind of got bananas, but while I was there, I was just getting all the gold
Yeah,
and everything I could see. And then when I realized I had enough, I just went back and did it. But
yeah. No, I thought they did a good job with I mean that kind of at the end game though kind of like makes you like, oh, this is what I actually have to spend my money on.
right.
Like I actually have to spend my money. I refuse to look anything up, so I did not look up anything online. Like I didn't look up a location for banana or fossil. I did
Mhm.
everything organically. At
Okay.
first, I was refusing to buy any maps like banana maps, bananium maps. I eventually
How long did
did.
that last?
It lasted like 2 layers. Yeah, and then I
Dang.
was like, all right. How I played it personally was I 100%ed each layer, and then I moved on,
Okay.
which kind of got annoying because later I can't remember if it's like layer 9. It's right before you go to like the dancing disco layer or whatever, where you lose
Mhm.
Pauline.
Yeah.
Um, you can't like the second you get Pauline back, they automatically pull you into the next layer,
Right.
and I was like, no, I still have bananas left. I gotta go find them, and I was like, no, which is funny.
I started out saying that I was going to do the same thing. I was going to try to get all of them in that first area before going on to that second area. And I didn't end up doing that because I got to a point where I was like, I can't find any more things here. I'm just going to keep going. And then I went to the second layer. And so I kept kind of pushing forward. And then I got to a point eventually where I was kind of tired of like going through like the main objectives and stuff. And I was like, I just feel like listen to some music or something and like just, pop some headphones in and go back to some of those early layers. So I think I never did get all of the bananas. But yeah, I know. I've had all this time. Um instead I've been playing Super Mario World
Nothing wrong.
uh
Hey, I'll give you a
and
pass there. I'll give
and
you a
Metroid
pass
Zero
there.
Mission.
Give you a pass
Um
for all those. I did 103. I got the 103%. So that means I got
103%.
yeah. So I got all. So to get 100%, you have to get all the bananas and fossils. 103,
Right.
you get all the records, which is
Oh, screw the records.
really it's really easy to get all. No, it's really easy to get all the records
Oh,
because
really?
there's a Pauline outfit you get right near. It's like at the end of the game that
Uh-huh.
it makes the records spawn more like
Oh, okay.
um more frequently, and literally you
Okay.
go into like a one of the battle arenas, like the end game battle. Did you do the post game stuff?
Some of it.
Okay, so
I
one of the
did.
post games,
We could talk about that. I kind of ruined the post game for myself, and we can talk about that here in a minute too.
one of the post game sections is like a giant battle arena. It's one of
Okay.
the giant battle arenas. You go in there, you can literally you'll leave 10 minutes, you'll have every single record.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah,
All right.
they spawn very quickly. But yeah, before we get to the post game, now let's actually talk about the actual game. What
The
did you think
actual.
of like? What do you think of how it started? It was so weird how it started. Like you're in like you're mining for bananas. This is canonically speaking, it takes place after Donkey Kong Country. We do know that it
Okay.
takes place post Donkey Kong Country world because we have like Diddy and Dixie and
Hmm.
Cranky. No Lanky, none of those guys though. Those are from
Right.
DK64. Um, but we get the Void Company, which is three new Kongs, which is
Hmm.
really interesting.
Right.
What did you think of the Void Company here? What did you think of those three guys?
I, I thought they
Oh,
were
two guys, one
strange.
girl. Yeah.
Um. They're. I mean, they had that typical like Nintendo platformer villain essence to them, where it's like they're not like trying to like kill everybody in the world or everything, but like still what
Yeah.
they're trying to do is like kind of bad.
hmm
So like
Um,
they didn't seem too terrible to me, but I thought they were cool. I thought it was fun to see some new Kongs after all this time. Because when was the last time that we got new Kongs? Would it have been Tropical Freeze?
no, there's
If
no
there
new
were even
Kongs.
any new ones in there?
Maybe Baby Donkey Kong from Mario and Luigi Dream Team, maybe like Baby Donkey Kong. No, Partners in Time. Maybe Baby Donkey Kong might be the newest one.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's been a little
Um,
while.
yeah, I liked the whole idea. Like Poppy Kong reminded me of Dixie. Not
Okay.
no, not Dixie, Trixie. Trixie. Like she's from DK64. She's not in Donkey Kong Country. She's Trixie Kong. She's like Donkey
Mm,
Kong's weird cousin. I don't even know. She's
okay.
weird. She's in Mario Baseball though. I do know that.
Of course she
Grumpy
is.
Kong was like a giant. I thought Grumpy Kong was like one of the easiest boss fights.
I. You fought him twice, right?
Yeah, you fight him twice. I thought he was so easy.
The second time you fight him, I thought it was pretty difficult.
Okay.
If I'm thinking of the right battle, I think it's one where you have to use the elephant.
Yeah, you have to use the elephant. Yeah.
And there was something I don't remember exactly what my issue was, but it was like, let me see if I wrote anything down. I was having trouble with that. So I was talking to a buddy of mine about that second time you fight that boss, and I guess the first time I fought him in the first battle, I was so easy that I like didn't even remember fighting him the first time.
Yeah, like literally, you run up to him and like you can just beat on him. Like he doesn't really do much.
Right.
Yep.
Um. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember what exactly my issue was with it, but I remember it was something along the lines of you had to suck up a certain amount of stuff and then um like and then wait for something specific to happen or something like that. That
Yeah. Well,
the timing on it was
he
kind of
has.
weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just thought he was a
Okay.
little. I thought he was easier than Poppy Kong. Poppy Kong was pretty cool though. She had like the teleportation and all that, and like
Oh, I thought she was super easy.
okay, you just roll right into her. Is that why?
I think so. I don't
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
I think because you can kind of see like where she's gonna go, and I think she was like, okay, she's about to end up over here, and I would just go over there and just punch her. And
There's nothing wrong with that. And
um,
I like how Poppy and Grumpy they eventually like basically join you. Like they like quit
mhm.
and they're like, "Nah, I'm
Yeah,
good." Poppy actually quits like way before
yeah, pretty
Grumpy.
early.
Yeah.
Because you only fight her once, right?
Yep. You fight her
And you
once in
fight her
the
between the two times that you fight Grumpy Kong.
yeah. and
Okay.
then she actually helps you kind of like in the main story.
Yes, to
I
get
thought I
out
thought the
when you lose Pauline, right?
yeah, I thought the first Void Kong boss when you first fight him and you're going through all the old layers you had already gone to, um, and you're going back
Hmm.
to all the. I thought that was super cool to like kind of just
Yeah.
re-experience that. Uh, really funny Void Kong. You know how he like rides around in his little machine.
Hmm.
His, that reminds me of Frieza from Dragon Ball Z when he's riding around. Those
Okay.
who've seen Dragon Ball know it. It reminded me of that. I was waiting for him to have some super transformation to some like super powerful bad guy.
Did you? I guess while we're kind of talking about bosses, at the end of the game when you fight Void Kong, did you
Hmm.
think that was going to be the end? Did you? Well,
No, I thought he was gonna have a super transformation into something else.
okay. I thought the game was ending probably 3 or 4 times. It was like,
Really?
okay, surely that's it. And then the game just like didn't end and then just went on for even longer.
What? Okay, we can talk a little bit about that. What really blew my mind though was right after that when we get the big bad reveal of King K. Rule.
King K. Rool.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that was I didn't see that coming, and I thought the what did you think of the King K. Rool boss of the King K. Rool battle?
Okay, so the battle, the reason why it is much more difficult than any other battle in the game, and that is mainly because he is a sponge.
Yes,
Yes, he is a
but
yes.
so I really let me see what I wrote down. I really liked the first battle with him. I thought it was difficult, but I thought it was appropriately difficult.
Hmm.
And then you fight him again.
In New Donk
And
City.
yes, and the battle in New Donk City I thought was ridiculous. That I also um you know how he had that attack where he shoots the giant ball at you
Yeah,
and you're supposed to punch it back to him and it takes off like a quarter of his health.
yeah.
Well, the first time that I tried to punch it back to him, I guess I mistimed it or something and it didn't work. And so I beat the entire boss battle not knowing that you could punch that back to him. And that
Fun, fun
I
fact.
was doing like
I did the same thing. I did the same
okay,
thing.
okay, great. I'm
I
glad
did the
it's not
same
just
thing.
me. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, well, you got to dodge this and then do this tiny little chip damage to him, and then you get
yeah.
into this phase where he just floods the
Yep. And then
the with
I stayed in elephant form the entire time.
yeah.
That boss fight because I would suck up a bunch of stuff, pick up like the gold, throw it at like the thing. So like the giant, like when he summons all those giant hands and
All
they
the
just like come
hands.
at you. Yeah, I'm like, what is going on right now? And I didn't upgrade my health once, as I told you before. So I was playing with 3 hearts the entire time.
By that point, I had upgraded my health. Um, but once I realized that you could punch the giant ball back to him, it got way easier.
Okay, yeah. See, I
One
didn't know
thing that
that.
I didn't do for some reason, I thought it would be a good idea, which this will get into the post game a little bit. Um, I thought it would be a good idea to play the entire game without upgrading any of the putting any skill points
Jesus.
into the Kong transformations.
Oh my god.
So I played the entire game and a few of the post game areas with them just at their base level.
That's
And
insane.
they were really hard.
I can't imagine because you said you liked being the elephant. I can't imagine not having like being able to basically just hold it down the entire time and like
That was the first one that I upgraded.
yeah, that's like that was like essential to me. That was essential. That is I can't believe you didn't do that. Um, what did you think? Before we get into the before we actually move on, I liked the little like shrine areas. I call them shrines where it would have like
Mhm.
3 bananas in them, and you have to like do like there's like you get like 2 of them from 2 main objectives, and then there's like a third optional one. I really like those. Did any of them stand out to you? I mean, obviously you had the one that threw back to the first, the 4 Donkey Kong Country levels. Yeah, like the
Yes.
original. Yeah, that one was pretty
Well,
cool. Where
there were some of them a lot of them had the Donkey Kong Country music in them.
yep,
And so I've never played Donkey Kong Country, but that music was pretty nostalgic for me from Super Smash Bros.
yes, yeah, which is it's funny. Yeah, no, like I know what you mean. Like the Sticker Brush Symphony is like
Yeah.
that's like the underwater yeah. But like that, I remember like going into that first one of the first early levels, and it's like it's the first level of Donkey Kong Country, and it's like a 1-to-1 remake. It was pretty cool to experience.
Mm.
I really liked the combat challenge ones that you not the
Hmm.
combat challenge, the one where you have to like destroy the giant buildings.
Oh yeah, those
I liked
ones.
those.
Those ones were fun, and then some of those got kind of hard. Some of those
Yeah,
probably would have
well,
been easier if I had upgraded my stuff.
probably. Trying to beat it within like the 20 seconds, like with 20
Yeah.
seconds left on the clock. Some of that got challenging. Finding like a third optional one was really fun too. I like those.
Hmm.
My favorite ones though were like the 2D the 2D side scrolling ones.
Yeah.
Those were my
There
favorite. Where
was
you had yep.
there was one of those where I found the second banana and the third banana really easily, and I was running all over this level, destroying everything that I could, trying to find the first banana, only to find out that you have to jump like way up into the air and go backwards over the start of the level
Oh,
to
yep.
find
Yep.
this like secret room. Um
Mhm.
and that was cool, but part of me was like, I hope that this isn't how all these go.
Yeah. I liked how they I think they did a really good job with hiding some of the optional
Hmm.
ones. Also, we had talked about this about how Mario Odyssey had that kind of that inflation with the moons, how they made it like not really worth getting them all because it was like, oh, they're just sitting here. I think they did a tremendous job with the bananas.
Yeah.
I don't think there was many gimme ones. I think they were all had you either doing something or doing a challenge or exploring or digging. I think they
Yeah.
did a tremendous job with that, and I think I'm really interested to see what they keep doing with that.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way. Um, I think that having the kind of like skill tree type screen where you can unlock certain things makes every single banana valuable, and really the fossils are kind of the new moons.
Yeah, I
Whereas
like
like
that,
I
but
feel like
they were much more difficult. I think some of them were a lot more difficult to find, and I liked the designs of the fossils. Each one was they were all themed, which was really cool.
amongst the different layers and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I loved finding the ultra rare fossils, like the giant ones.
the giant
That was
ones,
really
and it's
cool.
like,
Yeah,
how did I miss this? It was right here.
yeah, I liked there was like the giant 8-bit Donkey Kong. That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, no, I also liked like like the you have to sing with Pauline, and then it would open and there would only be one banana, but it would be like a race to the finish or just defeat all the enemies in a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
I like those too.
I think I liked the single banana ones more than the three
Three
banana
banana.
ones.
Okay.
But I'm not really sure why. It might be when I would go into a level and realize that it was only one banana and not a three banana one, I would have this like sense of relief. It's like, okay, great. I'm not going to have to spend 30 minutes looking for the third banana in here. But I
That's
think that
funny.
I think that was probably about it.
Okay. It was funny. So in the first layer that you can actually fully explore and you're looking for bananas,
Hmm.
I had one banana left. I spent about 45 minutes looking for it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, they make you buy at least one banana with the tokens per layer.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't know that.
realized that very late.
I spent like 40 minutes looking and I'm like, where is it? Which is funny. But speaking of like um just the layers in general, what layer did you like the most? Or a couple layers that you really, really stuck out to you that you really enjoyed?
Um, I know. So let's see. I know that there was one towards the end where you were kind of going towards the core, where everything in the entire area, everything in the entire layer was like made of gold. Like the walls were made of
That's
gold, and you could just smash everything.
that's the forbidden layer.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. And then I think there was like a either like a forest or I think the one where you get the snake, even though the snake is bad. I think that's a good one.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That one was pretty
If I'm
cool.
thinking of
That
the right
one,
one, I don't know
yeah,
any of the names of them.
that's fine. That's the Radiance layer. It's all good. It's the Radiance layer.
Okay.
Um, my those are I really like the Forbidden Zone. That was really cool with all the gold and everything.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I really, really liked the forest layer, which is like
Okay.
it's like the layer 5. It's when you get to choose between going to the like the snowy layer,
Oh
or
yeah.
you get to choose there. I chose the forest one. I really liked it because I thought it was at the first time I felt challenged in the game because there was poison everywhere, and
Yes, I forgot
you
about
get
that one. That was
yeah.
a tough one.
Yes, that was you get the ostrich, and I really like the whole idea of like the ostrich hotel, kind of like building up like the whole like lore. Like there's actually people living here, and like, come on, you need to help
Hmm.
us. There's a pool, there's a garden.
Yeah.
I like the ostrich for like flying around too. And I also it reminded me of one of my favorite Mario games, Super Mario Bros. U. One of the worlds, the Soda Jungle reminded me of that
Okay.
because there's like, yep, that's what it reminded me of, and I really like
Yeah.
that game. So,
Yeah.
and I just found that it was like really fun to like pick up, like you could pick up like the root and throw it, and it would grow like a vine, and it would to allow
Yeah,
you to
those were cool
cross.
too.
Yeah, it just made things like really interesting, and I loved
Yeah.
getting the ostrich. The first time I got the ostrich, and just thinking like, where can I go? And then I'd fly to a new area and be like, oh my gosh, am I here before I'm supposed to be here? Like this is awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one. I think some of the early levels do feel a little like kind of basic. Like
Hmm.
oh, this is gonna be your standard snow level with all the zebras. This is gonna be your standard whatever level. But that one I think really stuck out. That was a really good one. I don't know how I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one like really stuck out to me. I mean, I really like the resort layer. That was really cool. It was like really chill, laid back, like giant watermelon everywhere.
Hmm.
Reminded me of Mario Sunshine. You know, one of our
Oh
loves.
yeah, one of the
That
greatest
was
games
really
of all time.
cool. Yes, definitely. The one that I really didn't like was the landfill layer, which is like the one where like you legitimately have to like dig. You start at the top and you basically dig everywhere. It's the one with like there's like a giant pipe in the middle of it, and I was like, how do I get in this pipe? And I remember digging all the way to the ground and being like, there's no way I can get in. And then I realized there's just a cannon at the
Oh,
bottom. Um, did you like the racing layer?
I thought it was okay. I didn't spend a ton of time there because I was there and I did the race and I got a few of the moons and I don't think I ever went back there to get all of the moons. I don't think there were very many there. I think there were like 10 or
Yeah,
something,
there's
or
only
like
10
I
in
think it
it.
was
Yeah.
yeah. I think there were like it might maybe even like 9.
Hmm.
But I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool to see Diddy Kong, but I wanted him to do a little bit more in the game. It kind of seemed like they were just throwing him in there just to say that he was in the game.
Yeah. I thought the racing was awful. I think the racing was terrible.
I remember doing it a couple times and thinking it was pretty bad. I
Yeah.
don't I
Like you went so slow, like
Mhm.
super slow, and it just wasn't fun. Like
Yeah.
it didn't. I did it the minimum amount of times I had to, and then I was like, I'm good. Nope, done with this. So I was a little disappointing. That was probably my least favorite of the layers, though. Um,
There was one I don't remember what exactly it was. I
if
think
you
it was one of the
describe it, I
early
can tell you what it's
layers.
called.
Yeah, there was one where you have to get around these different sections by riding in the mine carts, and
Oh,
you
it's the
have to.
canyon
There's a
layer. The canyon layer.
okay. That one wasn't. That one I didn't hate that one, but I wasn't a huge fan of it too. I was very paranoid that I was going to be missing stuff that I could throw stuff at when I was on the mine carts, and I was
Hmm.
worried that I was going to miss like bananas or shell or like fossils or stuff. I keep wanting to call them shells. Bananas or fossils by like missing the half a second window where you can hit it with something. Um, so as a completionist, that one kind of stressed me out a little bit.
I
But
did the same for
I
me.
don't
I
think
was
that
like
okay.
I was really worried. I'm like, am I gonna miss? Because there was one where like one of the rarer because it's like the three levels of the fossil. You have the common one, the
Right.
rare, and the super rare. There were some rare fossils that I would throw something and it wouldn't break right away. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Sometimes you have to hit it, and then you have to ride the whole thing again.
yeah.
It's
Um,
no It's no roller coaster from Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh God, no. Speaking of roller coasters, though, we do have the amusement park world, the Feast Layer, which is like, every American's dream, an amusement park where you can eat everything.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that level too. I thought it was super cool, like all the designs, like all the different rides. There's like 4 different sections. There's like a lazy river type thing that's like all like grease, and it's like deep frying French fries. I thought that was pretty
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and was that the one with the there were like snails or something that you would throw like the salt at?
Salt at it and it would dissolve. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I overall like I don't. I think they did a really good job with the layer designs.
I would agree. I think some of the early ones. I said earlier that some of the early ones were kind of like basic, but I do think they really stepped it up a lot in the later ones.
For sure. For sure. Let's talk about a little bit about the our favorite types of bananas, because there are some banana challenges that are recurring throughout the game. So like
Mm-hmm.
obviously you have, like, for example, like you have the one where, oh my god, it's like a puzzle piece and you have to find like the little like sections of it and then bring them back and then it will fill in the
Right.
puzzle piece. That's just an example of one. Did you have
Yeah.
a particular recurring one that you liked?
I know that. So we talked earlier in like the shrine like areas. I did like the combat ones kind of a bit
Hmm.
because I sometimes, if I wasn't sure exactly how to deal with a specific enemy, I could kind of use that area to kind of like test certain things against them and know that it would obviously just spawn that same enemy over and over again every time you go in there. So I liked those a little bit. Um, the You mentioned the puzzle ones with the like the puzzle piece that you have to kind of follow them around. I liked most of those. There was one like where you have to like take them like really far and like lift a bunch of terrain and stuff and get them to like walk over it, that it seemed kind of like buggy, like it wasn't really working the way that it was supposed to.
That is in the landfill layer,
Okay.
because I had the same problem. Yeah,
And I got to the point where it's like, okay, can I like pick up these guys and like throw them over there or anything? Um but there weren't, at least you might remember better than I do. I don't know of any off the top of my head that I really um didn't like. That there weren't any of them that I would
I got I
see
got
and just be like, "Ah, this guy again."
I got two that I really didn't like.
Okay.
Two of them. The freaking gold tree. We have to throw the golds at the tree. Freaking hated that. Hated that. He's stealing my
Okay.
money. Stealing my money.
Okay.
Um, and the one where, oh, you found me. There's 4 of us playing hide and go seek. Go find us.
Oh, okay, okay.
I literally could not stand that, because I would find 3 of them and then I would not be able to find the last one, and I would be running around the area and then I would see the icon disappear and be like, crap, I'm not in the right area. And then I'd go back and be like, what am I missing right here? It's right in front of me. And then I'd find it and be like, well, what is wrong with me? I
Okay.
did
I'll give you that
have
one.
a glitch with the golden tree though. I cannot remember what layer it was, but I had 1 banana left. I had to feed my remaining gold to get the one last banana from the tree, because you get 3 of them.
Mhm. Right.
And I remember seeing it. I remember the area it was in, and I'm like, where did it go? I destroyed like everything looking for this, and I destroyed so much that it just didn't spawn back in.
The tree?
Yeah, it did not spawn back in.
What?
So I ran around the world looking and looking and looking, being like, where the heck is it? And then
Did
I'm like, you know
you
what?
did you go in the pause menu and reload the
That's what I did. I'm like, you know
Okay.
what? I'm gonna go in the pause menu, reload it. The second I did that, it popped up right in front of me. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. So that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth for those two.
Yeah,
But
I
those are
bet.
of the recurring ones. Those are the only two that I really didn't like for the
Mhm.
recurring ones. I
Yeah.
like talking to Cranky Kong. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um, it was funny
Is
because
Cranky
early
Kong,
on,
is
the
he in every
old
layer? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he's
yeah.
in every layer.
He's
Yeah.
in every layer? I think I found him in most of them.
Hmm.
I don't think well, I think I'd gotten every single banana up until you get to, like, sub-level, like, 700 or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, he's in every one. He gives you a
Okay.
little bit of like lore and background. But it's funny because in the first time you talk to him, he refers to Mario. He's like, back in my day, we had these standard villains, Jumpman. He said something like that. So in my mind, I was thinking that at the end of the game, the big bad end boss might be Mario.
Oh, that would have been so great.
And that
Nintendo would
would have
never.
been that would have been insane if it was just like, oh yeah, this is how Donkey Kong starts, the actual game, which would
Yeah.
have been crazy. Um, but yeah, as far as some of the more recurring ones, I liked you know how like the one where it'd be like, oh, I need light, and you have to like
Yeah,
destroy the environment.
those were
I like
cool.
those, yeah, because those were a
Those
little made you think.
those didn't start appearing until kind of late, right?
Yeah, I think the first one was the like the vacation themed layer. I said it earlier,
Okay.
the actual layer name, but
Yeah.
I can't remember it. And then it wasn't like every single layer though.
Right. So I wasn't sure. Since I played so much of it out of order that I would press forward in the story for a little while and then go back and do stuff. I can never remember where actually chronologically in the game stuff kind of takes place.
Hmm. That's fine. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I thought those were good
Um,
ones though.
yeah, it's I like the enemy design too, and it's funny because after realizing that King K. Rool is the big bad boss, if you look
Hmm.
back at it now, all the enemies you were fighting are like fossilized like Kremlings from Donkey Kong Country, which is
Okay, I
really
didn't
funny to
realize
think
that.
about. Yeah, if you go back and look at them, you can kind of get that
Mm,
idea. I did like the whole when you get to the Forbidden Layer, and
yeah.
obviously I understand who King K. Rool is now. They bring back all the classic enemies from Donkey Kong Country, like the critter was there, the
Hmm.
zingers, which is like the bee, the kaboom, which is like the alligator running around in like the spiked barrel. Like all those are just classic Donkey Kong Country bosses.
Okay. I didn't know
I
that.
mean,
I didn't know that.
enemies. Yeah,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was really cool. Um, I like that. Overall, I mean, there wasn't really much bad to say about this game. Like it's a great game.
Mm, I would agree. I do think that I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it and try to get all of the not moons, all of the bananas. And I don't know. I have certain games when I play them, I'll have a really great time with them, and then after a while, maybe a year, 2 years, or whatever, I'll think like I should go back and play that game again. I'm interested to see what, if anything, I'll think about this game and make me want to like go back and do it again. That would actually justify an entire new playthrough and not me just going in and I don't know, just finding a
Just
few
messing around.
bananas and then
Yeah.
like getting out of there.
The thing for me that would make me replay it is I saw someone did a no banana run,
I thought about that.
and I'm thinking that might get me to do it where I just beat the game with no bananas, no upgrades, no nothing.
I thought about that until the game got really hard.
It's funny. So that might be because like honestly, this game you don't have to get any bananas to beat this game. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You
You
can
don't even the ones
legitimately
from bosses and stuff, you can just walk past them.
just walk right past them, which is really weird for like a Nintendo platformer. Usually, it's like, oh, you need this many to. I was expecting like, oh, you need at least 30 bananas to go to the next layer.
Yeah. Well, that
Um,
also kind of speaks to how valuable the bananas are in relation to like moons or anything else because now they don't have to do that you naturally just want to go and get as many of them as you can.
oh, of course,
That
yeah.
they don't
Uh,
need to like slow you down by forcing you to go get them.
hmm yeah, and like we had said before, like all of like there's so much more enticing to get than a lot of the moons, I would say. But I will say this about comparing to Mario Galaxy: the the moons that were really enticing, that had some like awesome, challenging platforming aspects from Galaxy from Odyssey,
Hmm.
I think were better designed than some of the more challenging bananas. Other than some of the post game bananas, where did you do any of the characters like Banandium specific like transformation
Yes,
challenge
I
runs?
did. I did 2.5 of them of
Two
the
and a half.
5.
Okay. Okay.
I think 2.5. So the first one we can go in order. The first one
Yeah.
was the Kong,
Yep.
the Kong Elder, and that one I did all of. I think some of those were combat, and some of you. I remember
Some of them
running
are
down
combat. Yep.
that one. It had the balloon. It had these balloons in it, and
It
I
has them,
missed.
balloons are in all of them.
Yeah, so I missed
Yeah.
the dialogue at the beginning that said that the balloons were for a record. And so I was playing, and I don't know how I missed a section at the end where you get the very final banana. And so I was playing it over and over and over again, looking for all of the balloons because I was thinking that I was missing a banana because of them.
Yeah. That's funny. I did the same thing actually, and
Okay.
then I realized
And then I
it was for a
realized that when I
record.
get to the very
Yeah.
end, I had to just punch through a wall and there was a banana there or something like that.
Yeah. I really like these areas because it made you utilize your Bananium transformation in ways that like you might not have during the actual main game.
Hmm.
Um, like that made me use the snake when I did the snake one. It made me use the snake, and I totally forgot the snake has the glare function that like freezes time.
Oh, I
It
didn't know that.
freezes
I don't even
time.
know if I knew that
I,
at all.
you it makes you use it in that because if you don't use it, you can't beat it,
Okay.
which is really cool. Go on.
Um, so the Kong ones were really fun. They were pretty difficult, but I was still at this point playing, having not put any upgrade points into any of them.
Hmm.
And then when I got to the zebra ones, trying to get those under 20 seconds without any upgrades or anything with because I think there's one that makes you move like a tiny bit faster, or that lets
Yeah.
when you do your charge run, it like lengthens the amount of time or something. So I was able to do all of the zebra ones too without doing any of the upgrades or
Jesus.
anything.
You're a
And
madman.
and then I got to the bird ones, right? Bird?
The ostrich, yeah. It's a
Yeah, thank
bird.
you.
Yeah.
Ostrich.
Yeah.
I
It's a
got to the
bird.
ostrich one where you're like flying around and stuff, and there's some of them that you really just can't get without because you need to put skill points in to be able to like make your gliding a little bit better so that you fall, so that your like distance traveled to amount fallen is like better.
Hmm.
And there's the one where you have to you like drop the egg. And
Yep.
so then I did start putting some skill points and stuff into stuff. And I ran out of bananas, or I ran out of skill points, and I was like, well, I kind of feel like, so I could either go back into the world and try to find a whole bunch of bananas to be able to upgrade stuff all the way, or I felt like I would have had to just keep going and accept that I wasn't going to be able to get all of them in there at that time. And that's what kind of when I stopped playing. And I have been
Okay.
wanting to go back to it, but then by that point I was probably like halfway through Super Mario World, and I was having a lot of fun with that. And then I played Metroid Zero Mission, which was
Hmm.
way shorter than I thought. I think both of those games only took me probably like 5 or 6 hours.
So
So
you missed out. You missed out on some really good
should
platforming.
should I abandon the ostrich one and then just go on to whatever the next one is?
Yeah, I think you should try the other ones. The only
Okay.
thing is, there's a final end game one where
Okay.
you use all 5 transformations in it, and
Oh, that sounds cool.
it is freaking it's like the darker side of the moon from Odyssey.
Hmm.
It is super
Okay.
cool. Like there's a part I'm not gonna where you know the minecart how like you know the minecart how you jump on the no you know how the elephant you could like you could pick something up and like hang with it and it's almost like a zip line.
Yeah.
There's a part where you have to do something like that, and it is extremely tricky because then you have to drop it and go onto like a minecart track, but there's no cart there. You have to use your like
Okay.
surface terrain. Yeah, it is super fun. I really liked it. The ostrich one was my favorite one though of the 5 main challenge areas
Hmm.
because to me it was like almost like a giant open mini world because you're
Yeah,
flying around this little area.
it was like a big open area. So of the 5 or sorry, you're saying of the final challenge, the ostrich area was your favorite? Or
No, because in the final challenge room, there's no like themed ones. Like you can be
okay.
anything during any time, but there's aspects you have to use all of them.
Okay.
Of the five challenge ones, where each one is like you're specifically supposed to be like you can't change out of this one. The ostrich one's my favorite,
Okay, I see.
which is funny because we both said the elephant's our favorite. Like
Yeah.
transformation, that was my least favorite one.
Okay, I'll have to I think that'd probably be my next one. Because I assume they're
Yeah,
gonna go I guess
they go in order.
I can
Yeah,
go to them in any order, but
yeah.
um
Um,
one thing I did want to ask you about, like a couple things. One, what did you think of the skill tree and some of the different abilities in there? Were there any abilities in there that you really liked, any that you didn't like, or the various abilities that you were able to do? I personally, I felt like there was a lot of stuff that you were able to do that I never really found like a use case for in the game. Um, but I'm interested what you think about that.
First thing I upgraded right away, expanded radar. Give me
Okay,
the
me
expanded
too.
radar right away. Uh Longer time to punch, like you can just keep punching and breaking
Hmm.
more terrain very
Yeah.
easily. Those are the two I went with right away.
Hmm.
I found those super useful, super incredible. I really like the idea of the skill tree. I think it works for Donkey Kong. I do not think it would work for like Mario or Yoshi, or
Right.
I could see it working for like a Wario game if they ever did like a 3D Wario. I could see that
Hmm.
working, but I could not see them utilizing this for Mario. That was super useful. Another one, upgrading like the various Banandium, like you like this the stuff you failed to upgrade. Some of that was really useful. Like I said, with the elephant, it lets you suck in a lot longer,
Yeah.
a lot quicker.
Okay.
You had mentioned the ostrich; you can glide further. Being able to carry more like Banandium juice, so that
Oh, so
like
you
if you
stay
don't,
in transformation longer?
yeah. Also, being able to carry, like, if you die, you drink the potion, and because I only had 3 hearts, that really came in handy at the end of the game. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so yeah, I found really useful. It was
Hmm.
fun. I love the whole idea of the radar just constantly tapping and seeing where
Right.
things are.
Well, that's kind of in the boat that I'm in too, that a lot of the abilities or a lot of the stuff that I liked from the skill tree were tied to more passive abilities, or they would just kind of add on to things that I'm already doing. The things that I didn't really care for, like I didn't care for the like spin jump or anything. Do you know
Yeah,
the one
I
I'm
mean, I
talking about?
upgraded that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't really use
I
it that
upgraded
much.
it and stuff, but I didn't there was never any point. Well, I felt like there should have probably been a point in the game where it's like, "Oh, this thing that I was having trouble with got a lot easier if I was utilizing this, like, spin
Yeah,
jump or something." And I didn't really I guess there could have been moments like that, and I just never realized them, but
yeah.
I didn't have any moments like that, and then I wasn't a big fan, you know how you could pick up the terrain, and I think you could hit
Like
the le right
jump button twice.
ye
Oh no, the terrain and spin on it and like kind of like
yeah, and
yeah, like almost almost skiing.
I never found
Yeah.
that to be better than walking, um, unless
I literally hated it. The only time
in
I used it
the
was a couple challenge rooms where you had
yeah,
to.
in one of the challenge rooms at the end in the one of the zebra ones, um, you had to do that to be able well, I had to do that to be able to get to the end fast enough, because I was
You
doing it
have to.
without
Yeah. How about there's a challenge room that I remember you had to do that in, and there was like if you got in the sunlight it like melted it, and it was so
Oh, yeah,
annoying. Yeah, it was super
um,
annoying. That I found so many people like, "Oh, that's such a cool aspect picking up the ground," and like people describe it as like skiing with it. I'm like,
there
I
were
never use that.
those enemies, the, like they were like the
They were
lobster
red.
enemies
Yeah,
that if
yeah, you
yeah,
had to
they were
hit
red
the
and there were the
sunlight.
purple
Yeah,
ones, and that some of them, if they were in the sunlight, they would be super hard, and you could use them to, like, surf over, like, tough terrain and stuff, and I actually did find that to be interesting. I thought that was an interesting way to utilize that mechanic,
hmm
um, but I'm
no,
glad
I
they
know what you
didn't do it
mean.
too much.
Yeah, um, Yeah. I also didn't use the you know when you pick up the terrain and like you could like almost do like a double jump off of it?
I don't think I used
You
that the
could
entire game. I unlocked
yeah, like
that and put skill
I
points into it. Yeah.
yeah, I barely use that. The spin jump I didn't like because when you do the spin jump, you can't grab onto an edge. So like if you try to
Oh,
jump higher to grab onto an edge, you just bounce off of it.
yeah.
I'm like, come on.
So where it's which is so different than how I feel about the spin jump in like
In
Super Mario
Mario.
Sunshine,
Yep.
because in Super Mario Sunshine, the spin jump is like the most valuable thing you can do, and you don't have to unlock it, and it's like three jumps in one.
Yeah. So guys, so basically bottom line here is even though we love this game, there are still some things that, they can improve upon,
Mhm.
obviously. So speaking of that, what would you like to see out of the next Donkey Kong? Do you want them to stick with this kind of like destruction, more of a destruction platformer, or do you want them to do another 2D game or a more traditional 3D game? Like this is very different than Donkey Kong 64. If you ever
Right.
decide to play DK, this is
I
so
would like
different.
to. It's on my list. Um,
DK64 is much more like Mario 64 than
I think
this.
I would like. Well, I don't know, because part of me wants them to go more to get away from the destruction and stuff and actually go more for like a traditional like platformer and going to the different worlds and like experiencing different characters and all this stuff. But part of me is also like, if we actually get that from Mario at some point, I might be okay with Donkey Kong doing this whole destruction thing. And I do also think that the whole mining and construction stuff has always been kind of like Donkey Kong's thing, like oddly enough.
Yeah, no, I hear what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can kind of have his own thing. All right. So for 3D Dunk, I'm very similar to you. I like would love for them to do like a more traditional one, but at the same time, I'm like, we get that from Mario. We get that from
Right.
we get that from even Yoshi. Like Yoshi, we get like with the not that he has a full 3D game, but like
Right.
we get that from other series from Nintendo. So if they want to make this like their Donkey Kong Nintendo game, what I would like is those shrine areas maybe have a few more that are more platforming based.
Yeah. I think that would be great.
Oh, one thing we didn't mention is Donkey Kong's redesign.
Oh yeah.
When they originally revealed it, I thought I was gonna hate it. About 10 minutes into the game, didn't even phase me.
Yeah, after it looked off at first just because that Donkey Kong Country design has been Donkey Kong for when did the
30
first
years.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country was what, like 92
I think it was no,
or
I think it was like
something?
90. It was like 94. I think.
Okay. Still,
Yeah, about 30
that
years. Yeah,
that's for all 5 Donkey Kong Country games and all 5 Smash Bros games.
and any other thing he's been in.
Yeah. Um, so it kind of was weird at first, but now I'm kind of in a boat that it's like they didn't really need to redesign Donkey Kong. They
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
they would have I think they would have been I think it's fine. I think it's fine that they did it, but and I know that I think they said that they wanted to go for a more like younger Donkey Kong, whereas I think that Donkey Kong Country Donkey Kong is supposed to be a little bit older.
which is weird because
Um,
now this takes place after Donkey Kong Country. But who really
right.
cares in the freaking timeline of a Nintendo game? Unless we're talking Zelda, that's
Yeah.
completely different. um,
um, but I think it didn't bother me. I still probably prefer the Donkey Kong Country design, but I think that's just because that's who Donkey Kong has always been to me.
yeah. No, I hear you. I know what you mean. Yeah,
But it
I'll
wasn't like
be
oh, go ahead.
no, I'll just be curious to see. Obviously, moving forward, we're gonna be seeing Donkey Kong designed like this. Obviously, this is their new look.
Yeah, I would think that in any additional 3D Donkey Kong games, I think they're gonna. Well, do you think that this is gonna be the design for Donkey Kong moving forward, even if they do more
Yes,
Donkey Kong Country?
yes, I do.
Okay.
I think they might go away from the Donkey Kong Country line. I think we'll get a new 2D game, but it will not be called Donkey Kong Country. It'll be called Donkey Kong something. I think they want to get
Okay.
rid of that. I think they want to get away from that. That was part of the whole redesign.
Okay. Huh. And then so do you think in I guess in the next Smash Bros, if they make another one, you think it'll be this Donkey Kong and not
Yes, I
the
do. I think it
classic
will be
one?
this
The same
Donkey.
the same way that they did with Link?
Yes, I think it will be this Donkey
Mhm.
Kong. You might get like an alternate costume where you can go to the old one.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Smash Bros, I think we're gonna get Pauline in the next Smash.
As a fighter?
Yes.
I was thinking
Yeah.
like assist trophy.
Assist trophy, or it would be DK, or they could do two different versions of Donkey Kong. They do Donkey Kong and then Donkey Kong and Pauline, and this is like Donkey Kong and Pauline, like this. You know what I mean? You know, you never know with Sakurai over there what he's cooking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it for Donkey Kong here. We spent about an hour discussing this great game. Is there anything else you want to chat about, talk about with Donkey
The
Kong?
only thing you were asking what I would want from a future game, which it sounds like I need to play more of the post game because sounds like a little bit of this was already in there. In the final boss battle with King K. Rool, I really liked how you could just kind of switch between all the different Bonanza transformations kind of on the fly. That you could be the elephant and throw something, and then if something was coming at you, switch to the zebra
Yep.
and like run away to a safe area, and then switch to the elephant again and throw something else, and then like run up to him as the zebra and then punch him as the Kong. And I wish that there were more challenges in there that actually made you I wish they had utilized the ability for you to change on the fly between the Bonanza transformations a little bit more.
hmm
Because a lot of the
Whereas,
game felt like it was designed around like, oh, I'm gonna use this one thing at a time and not like switching between them.
okay, no, I
Does
hear
that make
that.
sense?
Yeah, no, I get what I totally get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Because a lot of the times it was like incentivized. It would only the only time you would really change on the fly would be if you wanted to. Whereas the the extra challenges, it made you or you couldn't succeed in doing it.
Right.
Which I think you'll like that if you go back to it.
Okay.
But yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, if they do a future 3D Donkey Kong game, I think the team is proven. I think they'll build off of this. But
Yeah.
obviously, I think it would be a long way away before we get a new 3D Donkey Kong.
I
'Cause
mean, yeah, best case scenario, I would think probably another 4 or 5 years. Just how
yeah,
long games take to take.
yeah, and obviously it's the same team that was working on Mario, and
Hmm.
but I do think we're gonna get a 2D Donkey Kong game with this style Donkey Kong. I think we will.
I think this team that's working on this game is working on another game already. I think that they have multiple games that they're working on at the same time. That I don't think it's going to be a full like 4 or 5 years before we see anything from this team.
Do you think it'll be Mario?
I do think it'll be Mario. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know. I um I I don't know. That might just be kind of like a wishful thinking. Part of me is like, it's been 8 years since we've gotten a 3D Mario game.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
the
don't
longest
think
it's
we've
been.
gotten very many, other than Super Mario Wonder. I don't think we've gotten very many new Mario games since then at all.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they re-released 3D World. That's. I mean, we have different types of Mario games, but not like
Yeah,
a traditional 2D or 3D Mario game. Oh, Super
right.
Mario Wonder.
It just seems like it would be a really, yeah. So Super Mario Wonder sent was what,
2023.
2023? Okay.
Yeah.
Which that was great, but I don't feel like that serves the same
This
audience as
yeah, this is the longest we've gone without a traditional 3D Mario platformer
right.
since it first came out. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's it. That's our Donkey Kong little spoilercast. Thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you guys like the game. Tell us what you think of the game. Tell us your favorite parts, things you didn't like, your favorite layer, a layer you didn't like, really anything in the comments. Leave us a review, leave us anything. James, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube mostly. I always say when I'm here that you can find me on Twitter and stuff too, but I haven't really been on there lately. I actually I got a new phone, and when I downloaded Twitter, it would just not load at all. So I
Oh,
spent probably 2 months not on. Like I spent 2 months like not going on Twitter at all, so it's completely out of my brain now. And so I don't even think about checking it or anything. So you can find me on YouTube. I don't even remember what it is, but usually Sean puts it down in the description. And then
Yeah,
also,
I
I guess
yeah.
on like Discord or something if somebody wanted to talk to me directly. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, perfect. Well, thanks for joining me. We'll be
Of
back again in
course.
the future for our inevitable giant Mario Sunshine retrospective Smash
Yeah.
Bros stuff. You'll see.
Ranking
Thanks for joining.
tier list of every shine in Smash in Super Mario Sunshine.
And then every blue coin. All right, bye.